left was so right about this administration, it's kind of unbelievable. Yes, the left was able to predict this by using the deep knowledge created by being alive at any point in the last 40 years. Republicans try to live in reality challenge. It's impossible. Stop talking about Epstein. Yeah, no. Bondi fires her personal ethics chief as DOJ purge continues. Firing everyone who could tell you what you're doing is unethical or illegal does not make what you're doing ethical or legal. Well, yeah, it's only a cheeky bit of violating human rights and allowing crimes to happen as long as it's in our best interest. You know, there's nothing unethical about that. Oh, yeah, we're talking about it. Remember when we first learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child sex trafficking ring? And then that guy died mysteriously in a jail? And now we just don't talk about it. Well, yeah, and his best buddy was your running mate and now your boss. Oh wait, you don't have any moral compass, so it doesn't matter to you, does it? He makes it so obvious how guilty he is each time he talks about it. I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. I think really only bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. Yeah, I think Trump could literally just ignore everything and literally say nothing. And he would seem more innocent in this than he does trying to say anything about it. But hey, narcissists like him can't help but spew a bunch of bullshit. Aw, is your lying conman president, who has more photos with Jeffrey Epstein than he does his own children, not releasing detailed documents related to Jeffrey Epstein? That's crazy. Come the right way, or don't come at all. You're literally arresting people who are trying to do it the right way. You vacuous clown. Yeah, if you want people to come the right way, why are you arresting people that are going in for routine immigration checkups? Oh, wait, it's not about immigration, it's about ethnic cleansing. Trump is keeping the original Club World Cup trophy, and the actual winners of the tournament will go home with a replica. FIFA Club World Cup champs will get replica trophies because Trump kept the original. Oh yeah, letting other people do all the hard work and you proceed to walk in at the last minute and take all of it. That's America's oligarchs all over. It paints a lovely picture of what the United States is like. What is going on in America? I collected 97 application fees of $45 each for an apartment rental. That's $4,365 in passive income. I'm not even renting out my apartment. And that is why it's illegal in the UK. People will say the UK is not a free country, but I mean, come on. In my eyes, the only freedom that there is in the US is the freedom for the rich to fuck over the poor. US lawyer here, this is definitely felony fraud in the United States. This lady is extra dumb if she actually did this and then posted about it. Assuming she has an apartment to rent, what's to stop her from just advertising it for rent, but never finding anyone suitable, and just keep collecting these fees? Aww, I almost feel embarrassed for him. You know, almost. Fox News will get to the Trump-Epstein cover-up once they're done with this bombshell reporting. All-day breakfast gone? Next up, why isn't Walmart open 24 hours a day anymore? And how to keep those damn kids off your lawn? Followed by, why it's woke that Betty from Bridge Club won't share her date square recipe, and should you call ICE on her? Betty has agreed to a truce after the last time one of the bridge ladies swatted her, and they put 6 bullets into her shih tzu. Trump's America is just stupid Nazis. Like, come on, how gullible do you have to be to fall for this such blatant propaganda? Aw, such a sad day for Couch Boy. All the devastating images coming out of Texas, this is the one that gutted me. This is an $8,000 sectional imported from Italy. Look at the exceptional craftsmanship, its gorgeous form, exquisite upholstery, a true work of art, and an unspeakable loss. Fuck, marry, and kill. Thanks, I liked this. You can add abuse with a picture of Zelensky. But you didn't say thank you. As much as that tweet's a joke, I genuinely think the majority of MAGA prioritize products and assets over human life. Hey chat, if you guys are some of the radical left lunatics that Trump keeps describing, you should totally support me by pressing the subscribe button, cause it helps a lot. And I hope you guys have a good day, and back to the video. Fox News thinks they should embrace being Nazis, and the reason given is we need to learn from the blacks. So Fox News is just straight up saying that they're Nazis now. Excuse me? I thought they would have had like some sort of veil on that shit, but just being fully masked off? Fuck me. Gutfield. You know what? I've said this before. We need to learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So from now on, it's, what up, my Nazi? Is this reality? Am I dreaming? I'm sorry. Like, can someone give me the phone number of the time traveler that like traveled back in time and then diverted the course of our reality to whatever the fuck this is? Cause I want a refund. What the actual fuck? Kennedy. Nazi, please. Thank God you did a hard I there. Do people genuinely laugh at this stuff? It's like an edgy middle schooler who doesn't understand comedy. The worst part for me is knowing that there's like millions of cultists that are actually all for that. They will just blindly follow whatever that fucking horrible news site says. Funniest thing I've ever heard. I'm a free thinker. Coming from the guy who believes what Fox News tells him. Yeah, I think these cultists like being cultists because they want some sort of grasp of being unique or whatever the fuck. But in reality, they're just the most malleable to fit into MAGA's mold for blind followers. Aw, she can't hide the shame. Watch Propaganda Barbie, she keeps putting her head down, looks away, because she knows. She fucking knows. Well, she has to guard him though, because she is a part of the Guardians of Pedophiles party. Even as much as they're cultish though, I can see through the cracks a little bit. Even they are probably looking at themselves in the mirror, and with that little bit of cognitive dissonance, realizing what a piece of shit they're being. Guardians of Pedophiles sounds like the perfect DC supervillain squad name. I hate this timeline. Yeah, something must have gone wrong with this timeline. Has anyone got the phone number for the TVA to maybe fix this? They all know. They just hope to stay in his favour. But not a well thought out plan. Yeah, I don't know about you, but staying loyal to a dictator isn't really the best for your long-term career aspects. Cause, you know, it's not like they're gonna give you their seat. Not even a long-term plan though. You know, given his age. How many press secretaries has he gone through? She just hopes for a gig at Fox. Going from the White House propaganda arm to the public propaganda arm. I mean, it's still propaganda. How was this not the end? As long as I live, I will never, ever understand how this alone wasn't the end of it. Trump mocks reporter with disability. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Trump and his cronies pump out every 1 or 2 weeks a scandal that, in a sane world, would result in resignations, firings, or even prison sentences. But it just doesn't happen. Because, it just shows how toxic his fanbase is. Trump's America thrives on cruelty. It's why ICE slipped so easily into Gestapo, and internment camps appear in the swamps. A large percentage of the population are fine with school shootings, rape, and pedophilia, as long as it's happening to the other person. Like, Jesus Christ, there's gotta be some sort of political narcissism effect that's just sweeping the US. Oh yeah, you know that there's 8 billion people on the planet? Yeah, my political views only align with my own personal benefits, even if it meant that, the other 8 billion people would just die tomorrow. Everyone knows I'm the main character on the entire planet, and everything politically and socially should revolve around me. There are many who do not know they're fascists, but will find it out when the time comes. Ernest Hemingway, for whom the bell tolls. I really wonder how these MAGA cultists are going to be able to justify this to their kids and grandkids in 20 or 30 years. Listen for the bell, Gospard, it tolls for thee. Cosmo Kramer. In that sense, Hemingway is wrong. They will not find out by themselves. Yeah, this guy voted no after filming. Breaking exclusive, Speaker Mike Johnson says he supports Ghislaine Maxwell testifying to Congress and demands the Department of Justice to release everything they have on Epstein. I'm for transparency, we should put everything out there and let the people decide. Pam Bondi needs to come forward and explain it to the American people. Let's get this thing resolved. After this shit show of a term, any Republicans cannot say they're pro-child safety, pro-middle class, or pro-everyday person. What they've been doing should result in so many arrests and convictions. Every single one of these Republican idiots has either been complacent or actively participating in the persecution of migrants and the cover-up of a large-scale paedophile ring. I don't know how they can try and justify this, and the only people believing it are gullible and malleable homunculi who parrot and mimic what their dear masters say. Like I said, we're in a zombie apocalypse. But not the type of zombies that eat people, the type of zombies that blindly follow their master's commands. My prediction, Ghislaine testifies that she doesn't even know Donald Trump, never saw him, never heard of him. Yeah, that's true. Who's Donald Trump? President? What's a president? In exchange, she gets to not commit suicide. Or she'll testify Trump isn't in the files, and then get a pardon. Well, yeah, because after all, if she bows down to the current dear leaders, obviously that whole thing was just a woke mind virus conspiracy. And it was actually Biden's fault, somehow. And also Obama's tan soon. That's involved as well. So because of that, she needs to get a pardon. And also compensation in the form of a totally unrelated island, a totally unrelated New York mansion, and a totally unrelated Boeing. I own a medical billing company, so trust me when I tell you, the United States is the only country on Earth that employs more people in the business of blocking access to healthcare than it employs in the business of providing healthcare. You got suckered, and it shows. Yeah, I hope after this shit show, Americans can finally address how badly they're getting fleeced by massive corporations and billionaires. Because the US is the only place in the world where you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars for medication. How much is insulin again? Yeah, the UK gives it away for free. Yeah, but can't have working class taxes go to anything other than cuts for the rich though, am I right? Well, yeah, they need another yacht, another private jet, and another dozen cars. And of course, another mansion. Because, that's a lot better and the American way, as opposed to, feeding children. ICE now has more funding than the entire Israeli military, which is in an on-again, off-again state of war with Iran. They are definitely spending money on terrible shit, in addition to bankrupting the country with stupid regressive tax cuts. Their allotment for just to hire new ICE agents is about 56% of the Marine Corps' total budget, and about the same as the Space Force's entire budget, just for new hires. Yeah, and ICE isn't getting designed to become a neo-Gestapo. The only countries that spend so much on internal security aren't ones that are free. Please don't forget that the President of the United States was Donald Trump, not Joe Biden, when Jeffrey Epstein died. Representative Debbie Wasserman-Schultz just toured Alligator Auschwitz and came out shaking. Well, yeah, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to realize that that shit's a fucking concentration camp. It's 34 people per cage. They drink, brush, and defecate in the same tiny unit. The photos don't even come close to the stench of it. We're packing human beings into kennel conditions and then calling it justice? I think everyone really needs to start pushing the Alligator Auschwitz counter-narrative anytime this place is brought up. What else would it be? A cramped, inhumane facility strategically placed in an inaccessible area that is designed to kill prisoners if they try to escape. Maggots taking pics with the highway sign should be publicly blasted. Well, I saw that a lot of businesses that are providing aid or services to Alligator Auschwitz are getting boycotted, and I'm all for that. There is an actual concentration camp our government slapped together in a swamp, and people are going to start dying in droves. Trump probably looked at El Salvador's Seacot concentration camp, got jealous, and is now throwing a bunch of money into ICE to do the exact same thing. Because if you guys have seen how El Salvador's legal system works, if they don't like ya, off you go to a camp. So Trump doing the exact same thing is not surprising.